Alrighty, it looks like we're on the air for pre-show stuff.
Tits.
Batten down the hatches and away we go with another edition of our wrestling podcast show.
I have no idea what that was supposed to be.
Should I eat prime rib or salmon tonight?
Rib, hell.
I don't know, man. Salmon sounds amazing to me right now, but I'd probably go prime rib.
Salmon is so good.
It's a crab stuffed salmon.
Oh, prime rib.
Yeah, I would be worried. Now, if it was crab and salmon separate, that would be a different story.
Exactly.
You had me until salmon until crab stuffed, and then I'm just like, that sounds awful.
Sounds like it could go bad real fast. Sounds very technical.
Well, look who it is.
Look who decided to finally fucking show up.
Did you guys hear the big news out of college football today? That literally nothing has changed at all whatsoever.
Surprise!
Last to hear it.
Dude, I had to read a fucking headline that said, this proves that Ohio State cares about winning over everything else. And all I can think is, where the fuck have you been for literally the history of all of Ohio State?
Yeah,
Literally
Ohio
everything part of
State. There you go.
Are we pre-showing
Also-
right now?
Yes, we are pre-showing.
Also, I have to see fucking Penn State fans hop on the bandwagon and talk shit. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
They have
no.
absolutely no room to talk, since their oh-so-legendary coach kind of went hush-hush about a pedophile.
Dude, they harbored pederasts for literally half a century. Fucking Penn State, dude.
You know, it's kind of strange when a 60-year-old man wants to be around anywhere between 18 and 21-year-old boys in a locker room naked. I know that sounds real, like, backwoods of me, but there's still a valid point in there somewhere.
Is there? I'm just saying that Ohio State and Penn State are both trash schools, but they're both that's like the two best teams in the East. Like, people are gonna be real pissed off this year when Ohio State wins the Big Ten again.
Doesn't it start this weekend?
I think it starts in a week from now. Yeah,
What's that?
next Thursday. College football starts, I think, next Thursday.
Technically, there are a few games this Saturday, but it's like, I think one of them's like Hawaii versus New Mexico State.
Which is the best?
Yeah, and then some other must be a Mountain West game. I think it's like Wyoming and someone. I have no idea. But there's a few shitty games this Saturday, but then Thursday is when it kicks off for real. Can't wait.
Exactly.
I finally stopped watching fucking wrestling. God, this shit sucks. Then the week after that, the pros are back, and then it's just glorious.
And then we watch football every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Dude, for sure. Thursday night football, man. There's always a good college game on a Thursday night.
Uh-huh. There's always a good college game. There's always a good there's sometimes a good NFL game, but it's only
Sometimes,
rare.
yeah.
No, you see the highlight of Thursday night football is the god-awful color rush jerseys.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say color commentators, and I would have also agreed.
This is also true.
Yep. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's a really good first week, too. There's a bunch of really good matchups. Break this down here and pull up the sketch.
Oh my God, I just watched Grado dance on a pole.
That's your own fault.
And what did you learn?
Sounds like a personal problem. What the fuck?
Wasn't Vince Russo.
Currently, right now in the preseason, the Browns lead the Eagles 5-0. How the fuck do you get 5?
Safety and a field goal.
I know, it's just like the most Browns score I've ever heard.
I remember like years and years back. I remember like seeing a final score of an SEC game. The final score was, I forgot who was playing, but it was like 3-2.
Oh, I remember that. I can't remember who's playing. I feel like it was like Ole Miss and some Vanderbilt or some shit. Like two real shit teams.
I'm like, how?
Because the SEC is predicated on defense for the most part. Okay, this Saturday, week 1. Really the only good matchup is Hawaii at Colorado State and their beautiful new stadium. And then there's also Wyoming at New Mexico State. And then Thursday, next week, UCF at UConn should be all right. The Gophers open their season, but they're playing New Mexico State. By the way, funny, because New Mexico State is playing 2 games, they technically have 2 matchups in week 1. That's a thing.
Interesting.
But real shit kicks off next Saturday. Michigan at Notre Dame. Louisville versus Alabama. I think that's in Orlando. And BYU at Arizona. All should be fucking excellent game. Navy at Hawaii late night should be good. There's one more. Tennessee versus West Virginia. That's going to be a good game, too. Oh, yeah, and Washington and Auburn. How the fuck did I forget about that? And then Sunday, Miami versus LSU. And Monday, and that I think that one's in Dallas. And then Monday, it's Virginia Tech versus Florida State. Yeah, good opening week, dude. Very excited.
Damn, Kentucky's second game of the year is against Florida. I'm still not over the Kentucky-Florida game from last season.
I don't blame you.
God, Kentucky just fucking choked there. Like, how the fuck do you let that receiver, like, wide open like that? Yeah, it's like this jump in difficulty. First game is against Central Michigan, then we go to Florida, and then our third game of the year is against Murray State.
What the fuck?
Like,
That
SEC.
sounds like you're going to get stomped on.
Should we talk about wrestling maybe on the wrestling show?
Fuck that, dude. Football.
No, college football is coming back.
We are now officially a college football podcast because wrestling fucking blows.
Well, that's good.
I'm
That means
watching,
I don't
I'm
have to
watching
do anything
I'm
but
watching Big Dick Nick right now. Sorry.
Big Dick Nick.
Just remember, like a few pay-per-views back, like something we were talking more about minor league uniforms than wrestling.
Yeah, that was a great conversation too.
God, there was some weird ass shit there.
Right?
Alrighty.
Did anyone else watch? Anyone else watch last year when Tennessee and Virginia Tech played at that racetrack?
Yeah.
Talladega, I think, is where they played.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, 150,000 people. That shit was cool.
On the phone. Is that really our episode number, Yankum?
Yes. 316. Wow!
I used to live at a 216.
I'm baking the lemon inside you. I'm baking so far behind you.
All those lemons.
And still nobody talks about the limes.
So quiet.
There are too many. Too many. Omega, are you
No
gonna
one
come?
can hear it. I'll get the police. What?
What? What?
Dude, also check out this hot week 1 matchup. Houston at Rice. It's going to be big time game in the old Southwestern Conference.
What'd you say?
Houston versus Rice.
No, what did Gunner say?
Are you all set, buddy?
Yeah, it should be.
Am I coming through clear?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 316. That's right, SmarkSnark 316. I'm your host, Gunner, and joining me also is my co-host, Mega BR.
Talk about your psalms, talk about your revelations, talk about your communion wafers. That's it.
Also, I was waiting.
I didn't have a joke there.
I was waiting for you to go with it.
Or I'll think of something when it's dog's turn and interrupt him probably.
I'm sure. Also joining us this week is our wonderful technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
What?
Netjester's here. Apparently he's not paying attention, though. Shao Kahn
Little technical difficulties, but I just want to say one thing before we begin. That intro was unexpected and mistimed, so it was kind of like the last time I had sex.
God damn it, Netjester. Why do you have to
Out of
ruin
rhythm, bro?
every
Come
fucking
on.
thing?
You got to stay in rhythm, bro.
Shao Kahn here and Disturbed.
I'm going to kill you all in your sleep.
I can believe that.
And that's not even going to be that's not going to be any less mentally scarring as what Netjester just said.
Could be worse.
I'm going to be in therapy for a long time.
You could be a Minnesotan Vikings fan. Ain't that right, Savas-Dog?
I'm not a fucking Vikings fan, you son of a bitch.
I know you're not.
Fuck.
That's why I'm saying.
Fuck the Vikings.
I know you're not. That's the whole point. That's why I said that. I'm paying.
You talk about your Psalms, you talk about John 3:16. Well, Galatians 3:16 says the promises were spoken to Abraham and to his seed.
What the hell?
It's actually
What?
Galatians 3:16. You get it? You get the joke?
Yeah, I get the
No.
An
joke.
actual Bible verse.
Hey, let's get started with the news because I have a better joke.
Hey,
Ronda Rousey
Austin, if Austin's the bionic redneck, I guess that makes Netchester the bionic red deck.
Hello.
It took me a while, but I
Fucking hell, Omega BR.
give that a 6.
You got there.
I
You got
appreciate
there.
it.
Anyway,
A
news.
316.
Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella is slated to main event WWE Evolution pay-per-view. And you wonder why we don't care. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no shit. This is why I had that button question a few weeks back. You guys were all just like, no, of course they're gonna book it. It's gonna be great. They can't fuck this one up. Of course they're gonna fuck it up. Why else did you think the Bellas were back? I guarantee you what's gonna happen is they'll change the plans, but the Bellas become the first women's tag champ.
I don't recall saying it was going to be great.
Okay, well, most of you. Omega was on my side.
The first
I
women's tag champ, they haven't even announced that belt yet. You sure it's coming?
I don't think
They probably
anybody
will.
said it was going to be great. I think we all said that, like, it was going to be okay.
Exactly.
Well, you know, it's going to be very heavily produced. And like every Rousey match, if it's very heavily produced and you've got a bunch of hands on it making sure that it's good, I mean, people don't like Nikki Bella. They got booed out of the building at SummerSlam.
Good.
Thank God.
They should have been booed out of the building. The only reason they were there is to siphon heat from people who are more talented, which is all they've ever done in the company. Let's be honest.
Well,
you knew the second they showed up, it was because they're getting involved with this just to show up at the first women's pay-per-view and say they were somehow like they helped lead the revolution or some bullshit like that.
the thing about it is these are the two most famous women on the roster in a mainstream sense, and that's by design. I mean, Rousey obviously is Rousey, but Nikki Bella, what with Total Divas and Total Bellas and the whole John Cena thing, the so-called E crowd, they do know who she is, and I guess they might maybe have some kind of interest in seeing her fight Rousey, although, it'll pretty much be another Rousey match. There's certain women on the roster that, you can kind of make comparable to Rousey, like maybe they could win. Like Nia Jax is one of them. Alexa Bliss, not so much. Nikki Bella, certainly not. Ember Moon, maybe. Asuka, sure. Charlotte, yeah. You know what I mean? Like some of the women, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Before we went on air, I was asking Shao Kahn where he thought Asuka would be on the poster for the Evolution pay-per-view. And of course, Charlotte Flair is first and foremost. Next to her, to the left is Ronda. To the right is Alexa. And then all the way over there to the left, in the same row, you have Asuka and Bayley. Think about that one for a minute.
Geeks. Kind of amazing in the front row, to be honest.
I wouldn't read too much into it. I think they put all the
I know. I'm not.
the most notable women are on the poster. It's not like, I mean, look, if I was a lower card woman, I would be pitching whatever I could to get on this show.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's an all-women's pay-per-view, and they only have so many women, but that still doesn't mean you're getting on the show. I mean,
Right.
There's certain women, the Iconics, for example, that job out all the time, except on Tuesday this past week. But
You could just be like Nikki Cross and just show up at the show, kind of like she showed up at the announcement. Completely unexplained, not a part of the brand, didn't stick around, and it's just gone.
Well, we think that Nikki Cross should join Total Divas in character.
Best improvement for that show I've ever heard.
that'd be pretty good. I'd like to remind everybody, too, that the Bellas left WWE. They went to Hollywood. They got a couple offers that weren't very good. Didn't really do anything.
Wow.
Best offer they got was from WWE to come back and be the stars of Total Divas, which they did, and that's pretty much it. You know, that was by design.
Best thing that could happen to the Bellas at Evolution is the return of Karma, and she just kills them both for how, if anyone remembers that send-off angle.
Oh God, yes,
I
I'd
do.
be down for that.
It's just-
100%.
It would be amazing and cathartic, and Karma deserves it. And yeah, just book that. Then I'll be fine with the Bellas on the show. But they're gonna try and give Nikki some fucking 15-minute match, and she's gonna suck.
So
Or Brie, they're both bad.
So let's take a guess here. Trish Stratus on the show is wrestling.
Alexa Bliss. This has already basically been confirmed.
Well, right. I know. I was just gonna be like, who do you think should be? But you just shat all over 3 minutes of content.
Well, they just shat all over the idea of any kind of a dream match with Trish Stratus. So.
All right. Well, prepare your butt, Shao Kahn, because Dave the Melts says that there has been talk of turning Asuka heel.
Okay, here's my opinion on this. You've had two easy opportunities to turn her heel that could have greatly benefited her. Once again, when she was in NXT against Ember Moon, and also turn her heel at WrestleMania when Charlotte beat her. You didn't do either, and look where she's at now.
And that NXT turn could have benefited both her and Ember Moon.
Yep.
I see why they didn't do it at Mania, because they had Nakamura do it.
Yeah, the wrong Japanese wrestler turned heel.
I mean, talk is just talk. It could happen, it could not. I think it would benefit her at this point if she almost did like a reboot. She goes heel, she goes on the winning streak again. But it's not really their long-term plan. Their long-term plan appears to be Charlotte and Rousey at Mania this year, and quite possibly in the main event, the true main event, last match on the show main event. So, I mean, as has been proven, they're going to protect their scheduled Mania main event. So, whether it's these two not losing until Mania, whether it's, whatever it is.
But they're both champions of their brands right now.
Well, yeah,
that could change.
Well, that's the idea. That's what's supposed to happen. So Daniel Bryan says he's having a lawyer look at his potential new contract for the first time, and that his last contract included an option to freeze him for a year, whether he re-signed or not. Cody Rhodes says an actual real money offer was made to CM Punk for All In, but it was turned down due to his MMA focus.
Punk did MMA? Wow.
Apparently.
He was focused on it?
Yeah,
that's he signed a deal. Well, hold on. His sponsor, Hunt's, he wanted to make sure that he was able to,
like the ketchup.
Listen.
Yeah, he wanted to, he wanted to go out there and properly represent the brand as a tomato can.
Yeah,
you knew that was coming.
That's the punchline. I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. It's finally nice to get some recognition around here. Yankum.
Well, if this is legitimate and Bryan is going to be iced for a year no matter what he does, then he's definitely going to resign. I mean, there's like a 95% chance anyway, but it's 100% if this is the truth. If it's not and they can fight it somehow, he's not signed until he's signed. But
exactly.
As for Punk, I mean, same deal. There's like a 95% chance, 99% chance he's not going to show up at All In, but he is going to be in Chicago, and he is doing that signing the night before. So,
yeah, But the thing about that is he's so involved in the creation of the 1 Hour Tees / Pro Wrestling Tees business.
Well,
there's probably that probably has a lot to do with it, but
yeah, I'm just saying it's possible. I'm saying don't expect it, but it's not like Punk's come out and said, and I mean even if he did, it would still be possible. But it's not like Punk's come out and said, "I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be," or "I've got this other thing I'm doing that Saturday."
Yeah, or he would be on a flight somewhere, or there would be something, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Chris Jericho pitched an interpromotional match for SummerSlam with his New Japan IC title versus the WWE IC title. He also says he was slated to be Shane McMahon's replacement at WrestleMania if he could not perform. We already knew that one. But the interpromotional match, I'm not interested.
You're not interested in Jericho versus Seth? I think that'd be a pretty good match. It wouldn't be the best
I'm
thing
interested.
I've ever seen, but
I'm interested in Jericho versus Seth. Don't get me wrong, but like IC title against IC title, meh.
They're very much titles at different levels.
Yes.
And that's one issue. The other issue is that I have a lot more interest in seeing Jericho potentially become the 10-time Intercontinental Champion. That I would actually have more interest in seeing than title versus title, because I think that's a more impressive achievement than anything else.
Agreed.
And let's be honest, he could just be spreading bullshit because he knows that they're not going to say yes to that. So
Why would
Absolutely. Also, is it bad that I kind of forgot Jericho's still IWGP Intercontinental Champion?
No, because he hasn't been on he hasn't been on their programming in a long while.
no,
Who's
it's
Who's ready for whatchamacallit, Ishii versus Omega for the belt.
that's I am.
You better win, the cowards.
It's good that you don't notice that Jericho is not there, because it means the product is so good that you don't notice one of their main champions not even being there. Whereas in WWE, the product not only blows, but they constantly reference that one of their main champions was not there for like 2 years.
All right, let's move on. Goldberg claims that hackers tweeted challenges of a fight to President Trump, causing the FBI to visit him and harass his wife.
You know what? I want to see Goldberg fight Trump. I want to see this.
I want to see Goldberg fuck up the guys who've come to harass his wife, like just randomly.
but they're Secret Service.
Yeah, that's why I want to see Goldberg fuck him up.
Well, I mean, they're nameless suits, Jester. It'd be like an action movie. He was like, "Why are you bothering my wife? Spear!" And he just jackhammers them all, and they all just kind of like stand there waiting for it too.
Yes, if you approach this from a logical perspective, then I'm down.
See, that is logical, right?
That is somehow logical. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that is the world we're living in. Let's be honest.
It kind of is. It kind of is. All right. I guess we have a whole bunch of crap to go over from this past weekend, so let's hit it with the 15-minute time limit.
More like a 30-minute Iron Man match, let's be honest. A lot of shit to talk about.
We'd all have to be Iron Man to get through this.
Here we go. Undisputed Era defeated Mustache Mountain to retain the NXT tag titles.
This was a solid match, despite them burying every Japanese wrestling move known to man.
That's what made this match great.
Fucking kicking out of a burning hammer, you goddamn indie geeks, you piece of...
Can I just make a blanket statement here? NXT TakeOver was very good. Every single match was very good. We don't need to say, "Oh, this match was good," as we continue forward here. Just to understand that we're talking about anywhere a base quality here of a 3.5 star match, essentially. I mean, even the Kairi Sane's Shayna Baszler match had tons of psychology to it, and Shayna has come so far as champion, developing herself. It's crazy to see where she was before and where she is now, to see how well she's learned. But we'll get into that in a minute. I like this. I like the callback. I like the tease. I like the ending. It was good. Velveteen Dream defeated EC3. Hey guys, remember that time when I told you all that Velveteen Dream needed a win?
Yeah,
got that win.
He finally did it.
Well,
I
the
was
end of this match.
Oh man, the end of this match, just I loved every second of it. It was perfect.
The pacing was weird throughout the majority of it, but the end, woo!
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was.
So I've been forgetting that the pay-per-views have been starting an hour early, even the takeover. So
No reaction.
I missed the first match entirely and came in like halfway during this one.
Omega, you say that again?
I went back and rewatched it after.
Said what? No reaction.
No. Before what you're saying that about.
Oh, I said that I thought the match was pretty good.
God damn it.
It was the elbow on the apron. I've noticed, every once in a while they get a spot that they really like doing. Like every other match has that spot, or it happens at least once a show. For a while, it still kind of is. It's going through the timekeeper's area, spearing that barricade. But now it also seems to be like you hit a big move and the guy rolls out instead of, you hit a move that might be a finisher and the guy rolls out. You notice that?
And then you do something on the apron after that. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the one thing that I really, really enjoyed about this match, they've been doing a lot of the false flag.
False finishes?
Yes. False tags. So they would go and someone would reach out and go for that big tag for, the big, come in and do the attacks, and they would pull them off the apron. What they did in this match is there are a lot of times where you could see people sneaking around and back. It's like, oh, they're going to do that spot. They didn't end up doing that spot, and there were a lot of times where they did stuff like that, or when they did that spot, but it got fought out of, and he actually made the tag anyway. I loved the little stuff like that. I thought it was perfect. And these two teams, like, I just want to see the trio of Mustache Mountain or British Strong Style versus the original trio and Roddy, I guess, of Undisputed Era. Like, just have those guys wrestle all the time. Their chemistry is so great.
That would be fun. I would enjoy that a lot. But yeah, no. Velveteen Dream defeated EC3.
And I have to give a shout out to Velveteen's huevo-sized cojones. Call me up, Vince. Really?
He apparently got heat for that too.
Yeah. That was trending for a while.
Oh no shit!
After he did it, I mean, look, you're right. It's a risk. You do it, and I think Triple H even came out and said, when you do something like that, you're gonna expect a phone call, and it could be a good phone call or a bad phone call. So,
hope you got a good phone call.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a good phone call.
According to the spoilers, it sounds like the phone call is pretty damn good. So
it did seem like, Velveteen's got a rep for being the guy who can have a good match when he's carried by somebody. It didn't seem like EC3 was carrying him in this match. It was more.
I agree.
EC3 was he was more mat based. He was doing more holds. He didn't really light the place on fire. I mean, nothing against the guy. It's just, Velveteen. Usually the other guy in the match, if you have to take somebody, it's as much as you like Velveteen, it's the other guy. But in this case, it was Velveteen.
I see Velveteen actually doing great things on the main roster. I don't think he's going to get Tyler Breezed.
He's got
I'm afraid.
Massive cojones. Vince has to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Him and his grapefruits.
I'm sure that his grapefruits will get him far.
I think it's like 60-40. He'll get Breezed. The gap is closing.
Yeah. Right.
Because, realistically, on the main roster, like, you don't have to carry matches. You know what I mean? Just have to be competent at a 12-minute match. So, if they like his gimmick enough, maybe that'll be enough.
It's really sad that breezed is like a verb.
Right. It's pretty terrible. He deserves way better than that.
Well, when you get put to the main roster and thrown in a Ziggler feud because you're both blonde.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a thing. Let's see here. So we have Ricochet defeating Adam Cole to become the NXT North American Champion. Okay, I
Good
have
fucking match.
I have a rant.
Good rant.
Can Triple H firmly remove himself out of Ricochet's ass? Do you think that could possibly happen in this lifetime?
I didn't see the Facebook after live interview. Was he glowing nuclear up Ricochet?
Oh yeah, just straight up there. Like I just the whole pointing thing, the whole pointing meme is 100% for a guy like Ricochet. Like, I love Ricochet. Don't get me wrong. Ricochet is a fantastic wrestler. I love what he does. You've heard me, recommend Ricochet matches before. This match is fantastic. I'm not trying to talk about that. But when you love a guy so much that you give your vocals to the first thing that you hear of it is entrance music.
Oh God, yes.
Wait, that's H?
That is H. Of course, that's H.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's H. That's him. That's remember when he introduced him the very first time? That's his sound clip at the beginning of that. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's understandable. It's just the fact that come on, man, surgically attached, fucking human centipede kind of shit. Anyway,
man,
I'm done. I'm done.
Can you even blame H though? Like Ricochet is just he's finely tuned. Like he is perfect. Like there's nothing they need to change. He's main roster ready. They're just going to keep running NXT because they know they'll misuse him on the main roster. Goddamn amazing match.
Like that goddamn moonsault getting reversed to a super kick midair.
Right.
How?
Well, first of all, I want to say a little something to Adam Cole. When Ricochet came off the ropes for a lion salt, and it looked like Cole legit got him in the throat with that kick.
He did legit get him in the throat.
My heart palpitated for a couple of minutes after that. I thought, oh my God, is he dead?
That's not even the craziest spot in the match.
These two obviously have produced great matches before. They're fantastic individuals to wrestle. It's nice to see a heel not be a chicken shit piece of shit. But it's really nice to watch this, doing what they're doing. Kairi Sane defeated Shayna Baszler to become the new NXT Women's Champion. This is my match of what you should watch this week.
It was a great match. Good for Kairi for winning. And I just looked at a weird stat. Shayna Baszler had the shortest reign as Women's Champion in NXT.
Wow. That does not surprise me at all.
That does kind of shock me because it feels like it was very long.
It only took Kairi a year to get the belt.
I think that's probably one of those things where it's like a good thing in the long run because she's not on the main roster.
Pretty much, because you see what they're doing to Asuka on the main roster.
Yeah.
So apparently, by the way, the two horsewomen that are not currently attached to NXT or who are, on the on their beginner classes at the moment, have so much talent, apparently, that they are going to far exceed Ronda and Shayna as wrestlers at some point or another.
Oh, dude, Jessamine Duke is going to be a massive star. She's huge. She's ripped. She was pretty damn talented in MMA. She's got everything. And she's blonde and white. So Vince loves her.
They're both a couple of beautiful ladies, and I never followed their MMA careers, but if they're half as good as wrestling as they are at MMA, then they've got, they could outshine Charlotte, for God's sake.
Oh, because that's so hard to fucking do.
Right.
Right.
Point taken.
But no, fantastic match. This was the psychology in it was great. The ending was my favorite, actually. Trying to trying to submit this girl, and then your hubris gets you at the end. I really liked that ending. It was good psychology.
It was a great ending.
Tommaso Ciampa defeated Johnny Gargano in a last man standing match to retain the NXT title.
Yes.
Johnny, stop being such a fucking geek during these matches.
Well, it's really hard to not be a geek when you're going toe-to-toe with a literal god.
A walking, breathing god. We have the question answered. Can you beat a literal god in a last man standing match? And the answer is no, because he is not a man. He is a god.
But seriously, though, they ought to give these two some kind of bonus, double their pay. This match and the one they were through the last pay-per-view. Oh my God. I don't see how they don't come out with really serious injuries after this one.
I liked a lot of things in the match. I liked the table on the other table.
That spot ruled.
Yeah.
I love that spot. I just gotta say that.
I like.
Ciampa came off of that apron perfectly to not kill himself.
Oh yeah, I liked pulling the mat back. I liked, I liked sending them into the timekeeper's area. The whole burial thing. I thought that was the finish when he threw that staff member on Gargano and all that junk and everything.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, they exposed the ring one more time, and oh man.
I didn't quite like the actual finish. Earlier in the match, they did the spot where Ciampa rolls out of the ring and, his feet hit the floor, which breaks the count, of course, which they do in pretty much every last man standing, right? So then they go back to the stage and they do the big dramatic moment. I thought it was a little too familiar from last takeover. And Johnny, of course, destroying himself. I thought it could have been played off better, like maybe Ciampa ducks, maybe Ciampa, I don't know. It just seemed it was a little drawn out for what it was, as far as Gargano looking stupid. And obviously the story is that Gargano's obsession with Ciampa cost him a match yet again, which is a good story, but I thought it could have been executed better. I was a little down on the way they did it.
I find that the endings to all of the matches are kind of like letdowns, but I think that there's more along the lines of something where it's like it's being let off the roller coaster kind of thing. When you're driving back into the port essentially, and you're like, oh man, it's over. Oh well. And that's how I feel about these matches. It's that feeling at the end there where it's like, oh yeah, that person won. When the ride is more fun than the actual ending.
Well, the awkward thing about it is that now Gargano has lost twice. He pretty much has to admit it was all his fault. And so, do they continue this thing? Is it kind of on the back burner? Do they, after all of this, does Gargano just get attacked by somebody else and they set up a feud? It doesn't, I don't know.
And who is it that they're going to, and who is it they're going to reveal attacked Black?
I think where this is leading is to a one-on-one match inside of the War Game structure at Survivor Series NXT. Unless Black gets back, and then it'll lead to the triple threat. But they got handcuffed two ways. First of all, it was supposed to be the triple threat. It was obviously supposed to be that. So they had to change the story up quick. And also, the way that a last man standing match ends is always kind of going to be a letdown, because at the end of the day, it's basically two dudes laying there for 9 seconds, and then one guy barely gets up. It's the same last man standing match we've seen a million times. So there's really not much else you can do.
I got a question. What's more annoying, a last man standing match or a four corners bull rope match?
Last man standing, because nobody's ever been duct taped to a ring post in a bull rope match.
I would say bull rope because it's the same finish every single time.
That's true.
Does the bull rope have a cowbell in the middle? That's the important question. Okay,
Yes.
then it's definitely last man standing.
All right, let's move on to SummerSlam. Let's try to get this done with.
By the way,
Jesus Christ.
FYI, if you have a bull rope match, and if you're saying that you're having a bull rope match and there's not a cowbell in the middle, you're not having a bull rope match. You're having a strap match with some fucking rope. Okay,
Pretty much.
it's essential. All
right, let's crank through this shit. Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega defeated Rusev and Lana on the pre-show. Meh.
What a waste. What a waste of some of the best talent you've got on this fucking company, viewers. Just from a show on the pre-show, people filing in.
I'm gonna lose my mind here in a little bit. You'll probably know why and where. Cedric Alexander defeated Drew Gulak to retain the Cruiserweight title in the pre-show. 205 Live is the best produced weekly WWE television show, period.
Yes, I love it a lot. I love the champion. I love the roster. Hell, I even love the manager and the freaking commentary team starting to grow on me. They're the best thing off of NXT right now.
Goddamn shame that 205 have better matches on 205 because they're given more time than on pay-per-views, where they're crowded into a 10-minute pre-show match with a fucking commercial in the middle. Which
is hilarious because it's a 2-hour pre-show. And, like, what else are you going to show other than some wrestling? I love Renee, but I can only listen to her repeat the same lines, so many times.
What a downgrade fucking Coachman is over fucking Renee Young. Jesus Christ, by the way.
And that's saying something, because Renee has come a long way as far as where she was at when she first tried commentary, and so has Coach in a very opposite direction.
Like, Renee got a lot better.
She did. B-Team defeated the Revival to retain the Raw Tag Team titles in the pre-show.
Now, I love the boys. I do, but does anybody really think that they deserve a win over the Revival, for crying out loud?
Well, the Revival are geeks, so.
Former Paul Heyman guy, former NXT champion, by the way. Just I want to remind everybody of that every single fucking time that we have a match like this where they completely misuse motherfuckers like this.
And remember,
also,
Curtis Axel, the former Intercontinental Champion.
On the card.
Bastard, say yours again.
Bo is one of the most hilarious fuckers on the entire goddamn roster.
Oh, hell yeah.
Even though he's crazy. It's probably because he's crazy that he's so funny, like R-Truth.
You're now remembering Bo Dallas can rap.
Oh,
yes.
Lord.
Better than Flo Rida.
And
he proved it on national TV in front of like 3 million people.
He did. It was great.
I also want to say that B-Team's new theme is fucking terrible. Go back to their old one.
Match of the night, Seth Rollins defeated Dolph Ziggler to become the new Intercontinental Champion.
The first match on the card, and it just went downhill from there, didn't it?
Kind of, sort of.
Pretty much.
Awesome match. Great interference on the outside. Went long enough. Felt really good. Right person won. Can't complain, really. Good little 4.22 5-star match.
I wouldn't go that high, but it was damn
okay. 3.75. I mean,
it definitely goes up there in the pantheon of like the classic, great SummerSlam matches, opening matches.
Yeah,
like,
correct.
It's definitely it's very close to that level of Angle Ray back in the day.
New Day defeated the Bludgeon Brothers by DQ to win in the SmackDown Tag Team title match.
You're going to be seeing this theme a lot on this show. A lot of DQs and fuck finishes on the second biggest show of the year. So get ready for that,
Rowan
folks.
tear his bicep in this match?
Yes.
Because there was a point where he lifted Xavier when they were outside and just kind of fell over, and I thought his leg gave out, but he was still walking fine afterwards. So then I found out it was his bicep later and was like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
They were really working hard in this match. Like Just like spot after spot, diving out of the ring, jumping to the ring, jumping to the floor, springboards, all kinds of stuff.
I mean, it's whatchamacallit? It's New Day on the main card of SummerSlam. I mean, they've been relegated to the pre-show like a ton, so it's not surprising. It's not like they're the hosts of WrestleMania or some bullshit. Braun Strowman defeated Kevin Owens to retain the Money in the Bank contract. Remember what I said would be the worst possible scenario? This is the worst possible scenario for this match.
Well, I thought the worst part. Sorry, Vaster, say that again.
Oh, it was just a fucking squash.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we thought the worst possible scenario was KO losing, but I mean, this was your textbook definition of a squash. Did KO get any at all offense in? I don't remember that.
I just wonder, who the fuck did Kevin Owens piss off backstage to get
He got a super kick and something else in.
But that choke slam off the diamond plate connector. Oh, God.
The super kick did nothing, and I laughed my ass off so hard. Fucking Braun just no-selling it and smiling back at Kevin.
I love Owens, but there's no way that he could get his foot to where Braun's face is on a super kick when he's standing up.
Geek of the night, Kevin Owens?
No, there were plenty of geeks on this show. They all just kind of blended together. This was, I think, someone I did. I think there were some other people. I remember I being very afraid one of these is going to be squash, and this was going to be it. And of course it was. I was just like, that's lame.
Worst possible scenario.
Well, and on top of that, you knew the second that shit happened. All right, so Braun's cashing in tonight. Or so we thought.
We did. We'll get into it. We'll get
into it.
Charlotte defeated Becky Lynch and Carmella to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion, and then Becky Lynch turns around and fucking goes Stone Cold Steve Austin on Charlotte. Fucking A.
Okay, I'm going to go on a rant here for a little bit. So, pretty much, Becky Lynch scratches and claws to get this title shot, and then Charlotte just gets put into the title match, comes in, pins Becky, and it's even funnier because now Carmella's just a complete afterthought. So, Becky attacks Charlotte because, Becky actually earned this match. Charlotte didn't. And we're supposed to boo Becky? Like, no. I feel like Becky is totally justified. Like, she's done nothing wrong.
You know what's even better? You know what's even better than that, though? Carmella being a complete afterthought is that she beat Asuka twice. And they in part fed Asuka's year-long streak to make her something, and then now she's just, who gives a fuck?
An afterthought, just like you said. And what's even more insane about this whole thing is the WWE tried on SmackDown to get Becky full heel in the crowd to boo her, and a majority of the people were still cheering her to the high heavens. It's not going to work, WWE. It's like Bruce and Roman.
Women pull apart segment. Women pull apart segment.
This has been discussed quite frequently around the IWC. It's the reverse Roman. They are going to try so fucking hard. You know they are, because they're set. They want Charlotte to be the star that everybody loves. So they're going to try so fucking hard to make Becky a heel, and it's never going to work. And she'll become the female Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's great.
There is nothing relatable to Charlotte. She has literally been handed everything in WWE. He's like, how is this the big face? Like, she's not relatable at all.
Samoa Joe defeated AJ Styles by disqualification in the WWE title match.
What a disappointment, because this was a really good match.
Can I just say, whoever's been booking AJ Styles' title run, fuck you. You've created quite possibly the worst set of matches in reality as opposed to the potential on paper. I feel that there is so much shit that could have been done, and it could have been better than what you decided to book out. That, like, seriously, dude, fuck you, man, making these 2.5 star matches.
No. So you don't understand. Road Dogg didn't write or book this wrong. You just thought about it the wrong way. You didn't understand what he was trying. You didn't. You watched this and you already knew what you wanted in your head, and you just ignored what the brilliance that he was fucking writing down.
Okay, here's my thing. So AJ is just now past JBL's reign, right? You've had AJ Styles have a near 300-day title reign, and he has done nothing memorable with it. How do you have a damn near forgettable 300-day world title reign with AJ fucking Styles?
And you
I believe you if it said it was Brock Lesnar, but
all right. And then there's, oh Lord, The Miz defeated Daniel Bryan.
You know, I'm actually fine with this. Because apparently they're doing the rematch at Australia between these two.
That's fine.
And the winner of that match actually gets a shot at the WWE title, apparently.
Nice.
This is fine.
Like, the story of this match is basically like this whole time Daniel Bryan's just made The Miz a more well-rounded wrestler with their feud.
Yep. Let's see here.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay, Omega. Get that out.
By the way, listen, you guys, that's not the story that you were told with all this women's stuff. That's just the story that you wanted to hear.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I've
some stuff.
See, I've heard some fucking hack writers before and some bullshit. That is the hackiest shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Just
I would have almost preferred it if the finishes of those two matches were swapped and Bryan got disqualified because he was being, too aggressive, or he got the brass knucks and he used them himself because that's what he wants to do, is punch Miz in the face, and
exactly. It would have made
and
more
then
sense.
Joe wins the title off something that was not completely clean, like maybe he hits him, tosses him into the ring bell but doesn't hit him with it. I don't know, something like that. I think it would have made it more interesting if Joe was the champion, but they're kind of doing the family thing with both programs, but it's more with Styles and Joe at the moment. So
yep. It's less about the family with Daniel Bryan and Miz. It's more about the wives, because they can wrestle. And then Joe, it's like Joe's a big bully and AJ Styles is a family man. It's not surprising. Speaking of surprising, the Demon Finn Balor defeated Baron Corbin. Rant time.
In our second squash of the night, by the way.
How the fuck do you pull out the Demon for a Baron Corbin match?
Because it's SummerSlam.
We got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a better question. Great. How do you, on a show that ostensibly runs 7 hours and you got like 10 matches, how do you still need 2 squash finishes on a show?
Exactly.
Can you not fucking...
And a segment with Elias that didn't go anywhere.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Speaking of things that aren't going anywhere, this 15-minute time limit's almost done, so we're gonna rifle through the last 3 here, because pretty much that's what WWE wants you to believe. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Jeff Hardy to retain the U.S. title. Randy Orton comes out afterwards and bores the fuck out of people.
SmackDown match, pretty much.
It was okay. Jeff Hardy, by the way, dying on the outside there with the Swanton bomb.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, my back's been causing me all these issues. Also, Jeff Hardy.
Ronda Rousey defeated Alexa Bliss by submission to become the new Raw Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss's arm got
squash match of the night.
Still very good.
This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, because girls like Alexa, it's like and Shayna Baszler too. It's like all they do is they do stuff that pro wrestlers don't do because it looks too real, like wrench their arms and break their hands, and so you can't do that all the time. You can do it here; it works. I'm just saying.
Yeah, gotta say one thing about the Ronda match. Oy vey, that freaking face paint. I mean, you thought the demon out of
Oh,
nowhere
yeah.
was bad. Oy.
What was going on there? Nightman or something.
We've talked about this many times before, and I'll bring up Dana Brooke again, who had at times in WWE, especially when she was getting her big singles push, looked like a clown, like a literal clown. And you see her without makeup, and she's just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Like, their makeup department fucking blows. And
that deep red lipstick, I don't think it works for anybody. Not that Ronda had that on. I'm just saying. I'm thinking of like the Iconics and Caitlyn and the Mae Young Classic. And,
All right, last match. Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar to become the new Universal Champion. We finally have the crowning moment, boys.
Oh, but we're out of time. Oh, what a shame.
Oh, I don't care.
You know, if they're smart enough to have Braun come out and mitigate the damage, why don't they just put the title on him? It just doesn't make sense from an overall standpoint.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Because you can't make Roman not look strong.
How do you not get a crowd in New York to boo Roman Reigns at the end of the match when he wins? Have Braun Strowman stand out there and look like he's going to cash in. How do you get Braun?
Cut the feed like 20 seconds after he won.
Oh yes, exactly.
How do you make Brock Lesnar? Excuse me. How do you make Roman Reigns look really good on Raw when Braun Strowman still has the briefcase? You have a match with Finn Balor. Have Finn Balor lose. Have Braun come out. How do you protect Roman Reigns? Oh, that's right. The Shield.
Literally reunite the Shield again.
And it's the only freaking way they could get any positive reaction for Roman.
So I want you.
Shield.
All
right, everyone.
We finally understand what they're shielding. We get it.
Get ready to clutch your assholes because here we go. Ready for the 200 IQ move that they're about to do here?
Which you think is what?
So they have the Shield reunited, and Braun needs friends now. I wonder what friends Braun has.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck this.
What are you doing?
My version of Bray Wyatt's old theme.
So bring back the Wyatt family, and then have the Wyatt family versus the Shield.
Bring in
again.
Bray and
Luke. If they did that and they did that trios match again, I wouldn't even give a shit. That's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
It couldn't be Rowan for what we're going to say later, but the B team could stand for Braun.
No, it wouldn't be Rowan. It would be Harper. It'd be Harper fucking whatchamacallit. It would be Bray, Harper, and
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
dude,
it'd be those three.
Fuck that. I agree with Omega. Bring the B team with Braun. That shit prints money.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it this way. So Braun uses Bo as a as a javelin. It just fucking throws him at people. He's like, protect me, Braun! And he just starts throwing them at people. It'd be great. All right, we're done. I swear. Dairy Queen drive-through. Buy me some ice cream, Yankum. Ratings, Vassar.
Hurts to laugh and hurts to talk, but starting off with Impact is 210,000 viewers, up from 168,000 the week previous, onto Raw with 3.096 million, up from 2.825 million the week previous, and finally onto SmackDown with 2.437 million, up from 2.189 million the week previous, and that is it for the ratings.
Dog with the birthdays.
Just one second. I forgot to open the format. Happy birthday today on this 8th of August, August 23rd today. Happy birthday to J.C. Bailey, to Earl Freeman, to Babe Zaharis, and to J.J. Carson. Then on the 24th, happy birthdays to Enrique Llanes, Jim Sixay, Hangman, Howard Canton Wine. All having birthdays tomorrow. Then on the 25th, happy birthday to the legendary Ivan Koloff. Also to another legend and allegedly well over 400 pounds, Crash Holly. Well over 400 pounds in my heart. Also, Bobby Shane, Joe Marsh, Don Eagle, Donald Lordy, George Linehan, and Espanto number 2, or Espanto Dos. And then the 26th, Bobby Duncan Jr. and Ted Thigh having birthdays. On the 27th, George Scott, Medico Assassino, Fumihiro Asako, Denny Cass, Baby Haystacks, Robert Zilokowski, all having birthdays on the 27th. On the 28th, El Cobarde, also Tarzan Lopez, and El Verdugo. Big birthdays in Lucha on the 28th. And then on the 29th, the motherfucking legend, the Brawl for All champion himself, Willem Ruska. Happy birthday, man. Also happy birthdays to Don Green and Dale Lewis. Those are the birthdays.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this week in wrestling history, circa 1984, where the Uptown Boys of Marty Jannetty and Tommy Rogers defeat the Grapplers, Tony Anthony and Len Denton, to win the NWA Central States Tag Team title in Kansas City, Kansas. Beginning and ending each team's second reign. Jump to 1991, where the Patriot defeats Al Perez to become the first GWF North American Heavyweight Champion in Dallas, Texas. As a result, the GWF television title was vacated. Perez had beaten the Patriot on August 10th in a tournament final, but it was later shown that his feet were on the rope during the pin. And in 1996, Superboy defeats Naohiro Hoshikawa for the vacant WWA World Middleweight title in Gosen, Japan. And that was this weekend for wrestling history.
Happy trails this week to Rowan, who needs surgery for a bicep injury that he sustained at WrestleMania. And happy trails to Jason Jordan, who has been shadowing as a producer role and produced the Royce versus Naomi match on SmackDown, suggesting his injury may cause him to retire. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I guess he wasn't born with Kurt Angle's neck. Shame. What should we watch this week in wrestling? You know your first yank of DDS.
Oh, the Miz and Bryan match, because it was really good, just like I said it would be, even though everybody hates Miz for no reason.
Omega BR, what should we watch this week?
Do people still hate Miz at this point? I thought he was pretty universally liked.
I
heard a story that the Miz,
personality mediocre wrestler.
I heard a story that the Miz, I think it was Mania 28. The writers were not allowed at the post-event party, the talent-only party, you know. So Miz and Maryse, who I don't think was there at the time, with the company, so she wasn't allowed either. But Miz and Maryse took all the writers out for a nice dinner that night instead.
Good guy, Miz.
This week, I would say, I'm trying to think of what the best takeover match was, and it's kind of difficult because they all were good, and then some had some stumblings. I'm gonna give the nod to Cole versus Ricochet.
Okay, cool. Shao Kahn, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Let's see. Guess you should watch Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. That was a pretty solid match.
Net Jester, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
God, everybody's stealing my freaking matches. You know what? I'll just pick something that was just sort of so-so for SummerSlam. I want you to watch the Ronda versus Alexa match one more time. And this time, we have to say that Matthew from Botchamania needs to create a new class of You Talk Too Much, because Rhonda was just motor mouthing it, and you could hear her, even though the way she was doing it, she was trying to yell insults to Alexa, but you could also tell that she was calling spots too. So, are you ready?
That is
yes.
true.
Smash. There
That-
you go.
That match was particularly bad for You Talk Too Much.
It was pretty blatant. I didn't really notice, to be honest, until Coachman wouldn't shut up about it. Because I heard Rhonda say stuff like, "All right, you ready? Here's what's going to happen. Are you ready?" Like almost like, you know.
Yeah, Coach.
Well, you could play it off like, and maybe that's what Coach was trying to do. You can play it off like Rhonda's so much better than Alexa. She's going to tell her what's going to happen before she does it.
And that's what I thought it was trying to do. Yeah.
But, you know, it did bring more attention to it. So, yeah, if you go back and watch, it's really pretty blatant.
And hilarious.
Right. Vassar, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Finn versus Roman from Raw, but as soon as the match ends, just turn it off.
Completely agreed. Dog.
This weekend, 6:30 p.m. Central, Hawaii at Colorado State in their beautiful new stadium up there, Colorado State. Going to be a pretty damn good matchup. Two pretty good teams out of the Mountain West. And then Thursday before the podcast next week, UCF at UConn. UCF, always a good program. UConn should be up this year. Definitely a bowl team.
That should be interesting.
And also, of course, a literal walking, breathing fucking god, Tommaso Ciampa, retaining his NXT championship over that fucking geek, Johnny Gargano, who got hey, goodbye out of the Full Sail this week. Because he's a geek.
Literal god.
You cannot defeat a literal walking god in a last man standing match because he's not a man, he's a god.
You know, I already gave a couple matches that you should watch this week, but go rewatch that NXT tag title match, because it's good storytelling. It's a good way to open a match. It's a great tag team match, so go watch that. Anybody got a button this week? Because I don't. I'll take that as a no. All right. Thank y'all.
Yes, I could get something going here.
I don't.
No.
I have a quick one before that. If you want to think for a little bit, it's not a button question, but of course everybody knows that Gunner, the famous Gunner from TNA, not Gunner, the host of our podcast, has joined NXT. He's been there for a while. He's got a new name. Let's play Guess the Name. What do you think his NXT name is? Here's a hint. It is somehow even edgier than Gunner.
School shooter.
Fred Durst.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Adam Lanza.
Ooh.
Oh man, those are great. No, it is Jackson Riker.
Oh God.
Say that again.
JacksonRyker.
Oh God! Oh, I just threw up a little bit. You remember those? Remember that image of like the list of names Stone Cold said no to when he was coming into WWE?
Yes, that shit is hilarious.
I bet you that name is on that list. I bet you a solid $5
Look,
name is on that list.
I get that they want to have names that they can hold a trademark or a copyright or what have you over them. Like, I get that. I understand it because they want to be able to make money off of it. But
it's just bad.
Jesus fucking Christ on a cross. That is so goddamn bad.
Yep. All right. That's it. We're done. Thank y'all for listening.
Wait,
check us out
does
online.
Omega have a button?
Omega, do you have the button?
I'll do a quick one.
All right, do a quick one.
All right, WWE does not have any DQ finishes for at least 1 year. However, there are no repeat matches. Every match, that's it. Like Joe and AJ at SummerSlam, only time they wrestle. AJ moves on. Almas and AJ on SmackDown, only time they wrestle for that same duration.
If you turn that into a storyline, I windmill slam that button. Quickly, guys. Jester, do you yes or no?
No, I don't think so.
Save Dog.
Yes, absolutely. Forcing
Shao
the
Kahn.
think fresh.
I will punch that button.
Vassar.
I'll fucking slap that button hard.
I'm the only one who doesn't want to push the button?
No,
That just
You and me.
Oh. Fuck, I agree with Netchester?
and with that,
Oh, god damn it.
thank you very much for listening. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Please follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that other nonsense. Thank you, podcastthemes.com, for our theme song. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a nice day. Bang,
Football.
bang.
Football in 3 days. We're saved. We're fucking saved.
Literal god.
God.
Good night, Windermere.